Hello everyone. I'm recording this at 5:30 in the morning and my windows are open and it is raining and the birds are chirping. I also have pets running freely throughout the house, so if you hear a little bit of background noise, that's probably what all of that is. I'm also breathing really heavily. I apologize. This video was originally going to be a sequence in the spring cleaning series, but I am pregnant, and right after I recorded the basement portion, I got really sick and I have been struggling ever since. So I basically decided that instead I would record little portions of cleanings that I did because I just never had time to record the whole thing and compile them sort of as a montage while I just do a little bit of an update. I am not going to be talking too much about the pregnancy in this video, except as it pertains to other aspects of my life. But I will be doing an update type video next week that you can watch if you want to know a little bit about the pregnancy. So anyways, this video would probably be better as background noise while you're doing a task like cleaning or maybe crafting or doing a puzzle. Definitely not something you need to sit and watch because it is just a cleaning montage and a voiceover. Also, just a little bit of a sidetrack. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I find the springtime extremely stressful. There's so much going on. There are holidays and school is wrapping up, and there are birthdays and recitals and year-end concerts and so many things to attend. I just find this time of year extremely busy and I try to soak in every second of it, but it does get a little crazy sometimes. So as much as I'm trying to commit to YouTube because it really is one of my favorite things to do in my spare time, I just don't have a lot of that spare time right now. But I am learning to create it for myself so that I don't get overwhelmed or stressed, especially with so many big life changes happening right now. I also decided that one of the things I really do enjoy about YouTube is vlogging, so I'm going to be aiming to vlog once a week, although I don't know what that'll look like through the summer because, as I've said, I'm not really sure what my boundaries are with sharing the kids on social media. So for now, that looks like not having them in the vlogs. And because of that, I'm just not totally sure. With Allura home during the summer, when I have days off, we will be spending them together as much as possible. So I don't know how many vlogs I'll share over the summer, but I would like to share about one a week until she's out of school, which is only a few more weeks. And then, so I recorded one last week and I was going to upload it last Friday, but then I decided I would also rather have a week stall in the time. So that way, if I'm somewhere and doing something, I'm not uploading them in real time and people know exactly where I am, if that makes sense. But I'm looking forward to these because they're just going to be really short vlogs, but it gives me an opportunity to vlog, which is something that I don't do very much anymore. And I actually really do love sharing little aspects of my life because I love watching other people's little vlogs. But I've been really trying to prioritize myself, and I'm just trying to figure out how hobbies like YouTube fit into my priorities. And they totally do because I really enjoy it. It's just figuring out a balance. I have been working a ton. Luckily, the first few months of the year, I was working full time, and then I cut back in March and a lot in April because I was not feeling too hot. Now I typically have 1 day a week off, which has been working out perfectly. I can schedule my appointments on these days, and I get stuff done around the house. But these last few months have been challenging. Also, I was diagnosed with subclinical hyperthyroidism, and quick little breakdown is there's these 3 hormones that they were just monitoring. My TSH, my T4, and my T3. My T4 and T3 were in the completely normal range, but my TSH, I believe a normal range is between 0.4 and 6.4 or something like that. It's quite a large range, but my TSH was sitting at less than 0.01. So I had a ton of symptoms. Even though my T4 and T3 were normal, I was having serious fatigue and dizzy spells, blacking out even. So essentially, they don't typically treat hyperthyroidism unless it's super severe and the symptoms are greatly impacting your life, and if your T4 and T3 are out of range. And because my T4 and T3 were normal, and on top of that, my symptoms were typically bearable, although at times it sure didn't feel like it. They were basically just monitoring it through blood work, and my last blood work came back and my TSH is all the way up to 0.1, and so now I don't have to go for extra blood work, just regular pregnancy blood work where they'll monitor it there. Honestly, this is a huge relief because the last thing I needed was that many appointments. Now, for those of you who don't know, I live in Canada, and in Canada, we get a 12 or 18-month maternity leave. I only took 6 months with Alora. I'm not very sit-still kind of person. I love being at work. I typically love my jobs. And so I took a very short maternity leave with Alora, and I've been trying to figure out what to do with this one just because I didn't want to go back to work at 6 months for several reasons, including my poor mother, who is the childcare of her grandchildren when her children are working. But on top of that, I just felt like it was important for me to be home. But I decided that while I'm at home, I wanted to be productive, and I've been looking at expanding my career. I haven't talked about it a ton, but I'm working currently as a recreation therapist aide, and I am loving it. It has been such a great experience, and I've realized this really is my passion. I don't know if I talked about this in previous videos years ago, but I wanted to be a recreation therapist growing up. When I was 16, I did some shadow days, and I actually took my healthcare aid course in anticipation of following it with the recreation therapy aid course, because that was a prerequisite at the time at the school I was planning to attend. Now, while I was a healthcare aide, I watched the recreation therapist aid, and I thought, that's not really something that I think I want to do. I don't know if I'm creative enough for that. I don't know if that's where my passions still lie. I think I'm going to choose nursing. And then COVID hit, and the school that I was going to take my LPN course at dropped the LPN course, and I would have had to commute for it. And that at the time was not something that I could do. So I just stayed as a healthcare aide, and I continued to work through COVID. I thought once this all blows over, I can hopefully go back to my original plan. But unfortunately, the program never came back to town. So even though I had done some courses to specifically take my LPN, I had decided not to pursue it any further. And I was approached with a position as a recreation therapist aide. And I decided, hey, why not? You get evenings off, you get weekends off, you get holidays off. I would love to try this position. And so I took it. It's been a year now since I've been working as an RTA, and although I'm not totally sure that I'm with the demographic I would like to be with forever, I am extremely passionate about memory care. However, the career and the field of work I'm very passionate about, and I think I lost a lot of my creative spark over maybe like 2017, 2018, 2019. I lost a lot of it, and I really, really struggled through then. I had a lot going on. I had a lot of mental health struggles that I, thank goodness, have recovered from. And so I think it wasn't that I wasn't creative enough. It was just that I had lost that creative spark, and I felt like that was something that wasn't for me. But it definitely is, and I definitely love it, and it's definitely my passion, and it's crazy that everything works out for a reason. And thank goodness I didn't go to nursing school, because I just don't know if that would have been perfect. So all of that being said, come September of this year, I have enrolled in the Recreation Therapist Diploma Program. I am able to do all of it except for obviously clinicals or practicums remotely. So while I'm on maternity leave, I will be working extremely hard on getting my diploma for recreation therapy. Then following that, I will return to work and probably work on my recreation therapist degree part-time. Obviously, once I'm back to work and I have a toddler to manage, it's going to be a lot more challenging, so I will not be working on it full-time. But once I have my diploma, I think that will be perfect for a while, and then I will start working on my degree as, the years go on. So I already have my seat in the Recreation Therapist Diploma program, and I'm all set for the fall. But that's pretty much it. Just a lot of life changes. I'll be a full-time college student in the fall with a brand spanking new baby, and there's just a lot of exciting things coming. So I'm looking forward to all of it, and I'm looking forward to sharing bits and pieces. I have a ton of stuff planned, and I can't wait until I have the time and the energy finally to start pursuing. I just came back and I was editing this and I realized I never finished my outro, so I just kind of stopped talking. I apologize for that. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's kind of a boring life update type video, but as I'm finally getting my energy back, I'm going to hopefully be able to commit to a lot more on YouTube and a lot higher quality content as well. Fingers crossed. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week with a new video.